In the previous lecture, we learned about binomial trees and some properties of a binomial tree. And today we are going to use binomial trees to construct a data structure called binomial heap. We can see how we can utilize binomial trees to get a binomial heap. A binomial heap H is a set of binomial trees satisfying two properties. One is that it is just a set of binomial trees, it must be a finite set. We can see an example when you look at that, you can easily understand what kind of a set it is. And first property is that each binomial tree in the set of binomial trees satisfies the min heap property. For example, here you have a binomial heap H with 4 binomial trees in it. You can see that the binomial trees are B0, B1, B2 and B3. And what is the min heap property? It says that if you look at any binomial tree, you can see that a root node contains a value which is less than or equal to the value of any node in that tree. So this is the least value among all these nodes. Similarly here, here and there. And that is even true for an internal node which is not the root node. For here you can see that the value is less than or equal to its child node. Everywhere it is true. This is what is called the min heap property. Now the second property is that for any natural number k including 0, the set of binomial trees can contain at most one binomial tree with a degree k. For example, here you have a binomial tree with a degree 0 and you don't have a different one with degree 0, only one. And you have a binomial tree with a degree 1, another binomial tree with a degree 2 and the last binomial tree with degree 3. And note that the degree of a binomial tree is the degree of its root node. And when a finite set of binomial trees satisfy these two properties, that set is what is called a binomial heap. And hence the properties 1 and 2 are called binomial heap properties. Now you see that the finite set of binomial trees, here 4 numbers are there, are linked together as a singly linked list like this. The head is pointing to the binomial tree with the least degree. From there, the next link is pointing to the root of the next binomial tree. Likewise, it goes. So the root nodes are formed as a singly linked list, and which is what is called a root list. Now, if you look at the first property, which tells you that each binomial tree contains values in such a way that the value of a root node is less than or equal to values at all its child nodes. And this implies that a node in the root list stores the minimum value among all the values stored. In this case, this is the minimum value. Okay, and why is it guaranteed? Because the minimum among all these values are here and minimum among all these values are in this node, the minimum among all these values, only two values is this, and here it is vacuously true, only one value. So definitely one of the root node in the linked list must contain the minimum value among all the nodes. Here there are 15 nodes and the minimum is 1, minimum value is 1. And now the second property, what is the second property? If you want to have B0, you can have just one copy of B0, you cannot have two copies. Then here you have a B1, B2 and B3. And from the previous lecture, you know that in B0 there are 2 raised to 0 nodes, that is 1 node. In B1, 2 to the power 1 nodes, that is 2 nodes. In B2, 2 to the power 2, which is 4 nodes are there. And in B3, 2 to the power 3, that is 8 nodes are there. And that is true. And therefore the total number of nodes will be 2 power k1 plus 2 power k2 plus etc. That is, it is the sum of powers of 2. It is not difficult to observe. And using this observation, you can in fact prove that a binomial heap with the total n nodes in all the trees contains a maximum of log n binomial tree. For example, here it is 15 and log 15 is 3 point something, and you are taking the seal of 3 point something, which will give you 4. So here 4 nodes are there. And the result follows because we can prove that for all values of I from 0, 1, 2, 3, what we can do is that B0 is in the set of trees if and only if the 0th bit of the binary representation of the total number of nodes is 1. Maybe an example will make it clear. This is the second property that we are looking at. Now if you look at this particular heap, there are 4 binomial trees and the total number of nodes is 15. And how that 15 is coming is, this is 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8, which is 15. And what is this 8? It is nothing but 2 to the power 3, because it is B3. 2 to the power 3 plus 2 to the power 2, it is B2, plus 2 to the power 1 plus 2 to the power 0 is 15. And if you look at the binary equivalent of 15, it is 1, 1, 1, 1. So the total number of nodes will be 2 to the power 0 plus 2 to the power 1 plus 2 to the power 2 plus 2 to the power 3. These are the bits. Okay, to make it more clear, now you consider this binomial tree, and you can see that there are 13 nodes in it. And if you look at the binary equivalent of 13, it is this 1101. So what is not there is B1 is not there, the binomial tree B1 is not there. So the total number of nodes is nothing but 2 to the power 0 plus 2 to the power 1 plus 2 to the power 2 to the power 0 plus 2 to the power 2 plus 2 to the power 3, and that is 13. So wherever there is a 1, you add 2 to the power that bit position. Okay, let us look at one more case. Here you have only 8 nodes and 8 is represented like this. So all these are zeros. So you are only having the binomial tree B3. So the number of nodes is just 2 to the power 3. It is not difficult to observe this, and if you want, you can apply mathematical induction to prove that this is true. So these are the two properties that we have. And the only thing that you have to remember is that if there are n nodes in the whole heap, then the maximum number of binomial trees you need is log n. And this result we need later when we need to find the complexity of an algorithm on binomial heaps. And with this, let us proceed and see how can you represent a binomial heap. Let us use this as a simple example to discuss how we can represent a binomial heap. We are going to use a self-referential data structure. You might have used self-referential data structures for implementing linked list and binary trees. So we are going to use a node like this, which are the fields in it. The fields are parent. That means if you are looking at this node, the parent should point to the node 18. Then key must be 31 in this case. Then degree of this node is 0. And if you look at this node, it is 1. Then the child and or sibling, these are the fields. And this is how the expanded figure will look like if you look at the representation using this kind of a node structure. We can see the components, how you can access it. The parent field of the node x can be accessed as parent of x. Assume that this is the syntax. Similarly, key of x, degree of x, and child of x and sibling of x. Now, to get more clarity on this representation, let us look at a concrete representation of a node. We are looking at node 61 now. What is the parent field containing? Parent field is a pointer to its parent node, which is 41. So 41 is this node, the value is 41. So parent of 61 is pointing to this node. And what is the key? Key is 61, which is stored here. And what is the degree of node 61? Which is just one child, so it is 1. And now what is the child? Child is actually pointing to the leftmost child of that node. Okay. This is more interesting. You can see that there are two children. Even though there are two children, the child field of this is pointing to the leftmost child of that node, and that's it. So that is the representation. And what is sibling? Sibling is actually pointing to the sibling node. So in this case, 52 is the sibling for 61. So that is this link. And you note that for implementing the root list, the sibling field of the root nodes are utilized. The sibling field of this root node is pointing to this node. Similarly, the sibling field of 18 will point to the next. So that the same field sibling is used to implement the root list as well. Now we can look at operations on binomial heaps. The first operation that we are going to see is an operation to create a new binomial heap. And I am showing you the procedure that I copied from the textbook. And what is it doing? It just gets a node of this kind. Okay, it just creates a node of this kind, and it assigns the address of that node to h. Hope you remember that h should point to the first node in the root list. Now you have created a node structure and its address is stored in H. And now you are saying that the head of H is nil. That means now it is a nil list or null list. No elements are there in the root list or no binomial trees are there. So to begin with, the binomial heap is not containing any trees. It is just having a variable which can hold the address of the first binomial tree that you can add later. So not that you are just creating a variable, not assigning any value to it. And that variable is a pointer to the node structure, and that's it. And it's not difficult to see that the complexity of this operation is theta of 1 because only 3 instructions. Now we can look at an operation which is for finding the minimum key value from a binomial heap. Here again I am giving you the procedure which I copied from the textbook. Please don't get worried about it. We can see how exactly it works with an illustrative example. Here is our running example, and from the first property of binomial heap we know that the minimum is the value of one of the root node. So what you have to basically do is just traverse the root list. You don't have to visit any other node below it. You just visit the root nodes through the linked list and you find the minimum. Now that is a procedure, and which is a very simple procedure to find the minimum from a linear linked list. And this is that procedure. What I do first is a variable y is declared as nil or null. Okay, so this is what we did. After that we are coming to this statement, and what is it doing? Another variable x is positioned at the first node of the first root node. So this is what you do. X is positioned at this node, and after that you are coming here and you are saying that the initialization for minimum is infinity, that is a maximum possible value. Later you can see why they are doing it like that. And now x is positioned to the first node in the root list, and you have to repeat until you exhaust the list, until you go after one. What you have to do? You are checking if the key value at x, which is now 25, is less than the minimum is infinity, which is true, then you are coming down and you are saying that okay, now the minimum should be 25, not infinity. You are assigning it. You are getting minimum as 25, and after that you are remembering the address of the node in which this minimum is present in the variable y. Y will point to the present minimum node. So this is what you did, and after that what you do? You are saying that update x to the sibling of x, which is 18. So if you execute, x will come here, and then you are going back and repeating. X is not nil, so coming down you are checking whether the key of x, which is 18, is less than 25, which is true. You are coming down, you are saying that minimum is nothing but the key at x, which is 18. Then coming down and setting y as the new minimum node, so y will come here. Again going down and updating x to the sibling of x, x will come to 41. Going back, x is not nil. Coming down and checking whether the key of x, which is 41, less than 18, which is not true. So you will not go inside the if. You are coming to this statement and updating x to the next root node. Going up, x is not nil. coming down and checking whether the value of x, which is 1, less than 18, which is true. So, you will come down and update minimum as 1, the value of this node. Moving down and copying the address of the minimum node to y. So, y will come and point to this node. Moving down, and now you say that x is sibling of x. There is no sibling for x, and hence you are getting x updated to nil, because there is no such next node. So, x is nil now. You going back, and here this check will fail because x is already nil. So, you will finish there, and you are returning the address of the node containing the minimum value. So, it is just a traversal of the root list. And from the property 2 of the binomial heap, we know that if there are n nodes in the in the heap, the maximum number of binomial trees required is log n. So, the complexity is traversing a linked list with a maximum log n elements, and hence the complexity is in the order of log n. I hope you are getting a basic idea about binomial heaps. With this, we are finishing this lecture. Today, we have seen how we can combine a finite set of binomial trees to form a binomial heap. It is just a collection of binomial trees linked together using the root list, and the set of trees should satisfy two properties. The first property is that each binomial tree need to satisfy the min heap property, that the root node contains a value which is less than or equal to the values of all its children. And the second property demands that in the collection, for any degree k, you can have at most one binomial tree of degree k. And using these properties, we realize that one of the root node should contain the least value among all the values, and so to find the minimum value node, what we have to do is just traverse the root list, and based on property 2, maximum log n trees are there in the root list, and hence the complexity of that algorithm is log n. Thank you.